Hey, what's up guys? My name is Bora and welcome back to the Mining Stacker YouTube channel. Today's video, we do have a new Jasminer model. This is a budget model, which makes it extremely appealing. It's the new Jasminer X16-QE for Eco. So this is finally, it seems like this is going to be their response to that new Bombax ETH ASIC. And it's a pretty freaking good one, right? So the main thing here is the price. The price is extremely appealing here. We're going to talk about that price. We'll compare it. We'll compare it with the Bombax and what we've learned about the Bombax since our initial overview, right? They did make a pretty good announcement and it's pretty appealing there also. So we'll talk about the different dynamics. We'll see how they stack up and things to consider if you're getting either one, right? So if that sounds good, guys, stay tuned. Let's get to this thing. So Jasminer actually did release two models, right? We did see the X16-Q Pro back when they did this X44 announcement, just because they did have it up in this little banner. Realistically, it wasn't too appealing. It's 100 more mega hash, 100 watts less. It is an upgrade, but not something that's appealing. What is appealing though is this new Eco model, right? So when we look at the specs right off the rip, 1650 versus the 1950 of the regular model. 550 watts versus the 620, so the efficiency stays the same. It's a lower variant though, which is kind of interesting because we have seen that with the regular X16-Q. We've seen like 1850, 1750, and 1650 models in the past that were each $100 less. There is another hardware difference though with this guy, so it isn't just a variant because it has less RAM also. So that is something you got to consider. The X16-Q has 8 gigs versus 6 gigs on this guy. The standout though is the price. It is a pretty significant price decrease. So the regular model, they have it at 3,500. Street price is closer to 3K. This guy, they have it at 2,400. Street price is going to be like 2,200-ish. Very aggressive price cut. Okay, because the difference between this model, the E model, and the regular model has about 18% more hash. The difference in price though is about 50 freaking percent. You're going from 2K to 3K for only 18% different in hash, same efficiency, a little bit less RAM. This guy appears to be the better deal, definitely. Will they adjust the price of the regular model and this just stays? Who knows, right? Maybe this is just a limited model just to kind of like sidetrack Bombax a little bit, make them do something. Who freaking knows? But let's look at some of the street prices here, because again, they have it at 24. So Jingle Mining has it at 1980. The downfall here though, when you add it to cart and actually try to purchase it, they charge like $480 for shipping. They only offer an expedited shipping service, which I don't know if it's just because it's new and they haven't updated yet, or if that's their little thing, which that's not cool if that's what it is. Not a fan of that. But that does skyrocket the price if they don't offer a regular form of shipping, right? Which is pretty unreasonable to pay nearly $500. Borderline ridiculous, right? So let's look at Miner Bros. They have it at $2,700. So again, they are on the higher end. And then ASIC Marketplace has at $2,689, which is again pretty much the same thing. So Nhash, which is again typically one of the cheaper stores, and out of the stores I've been looking at, they are the cheapest on this one currently. But reach out to your favorite store reseller, because again, it is a new model. Some of them haven't listed it on their site yet. They have it at 2,100, $200 shipping, so $2,300 shipped. Okay, so pretty good freaking pricing. All-time lows, not exactly, but very good pricing. Okay, very aggressive. We'll talk about it here in a second, why they hit that price point almost exactly, right? So let's look at profitability though. When we do it on a calculator, this is for Octa. Keep in mind, again, you can mine any of the ETH ASIC algorithms. You can do like ETC, you can dual mine ETC ZIL. If I were to get one, my interest would be Octa, and just to compare, we're using Octa. Okay, so if we plug it in, 1650 mega hash, 550 watts at a 10-cent kilowatt hour, 24-hour revenue, $4.14, only $1.32 to run, $2.82 profit. When we compare it to the regular guy, so 1950, 650 watts, $4.93 in revenue, $3.37 in profit, right? So overall profitability, about a 50-cent difference with a pretty aggressive price difference though, okay? So a couple of things to consider here, right? Number one is just the price point. The price point is extremely, extremely enticing. $2,000 is much, much easier to stomach here. Okay, especially considering that this is a at-home ASIC, something that anybody can plug into 110 volts. Again, it's only 550 watts. You can run this thing indoors. It's not loud. Okay, so if you are limited, you can't run a full-size ASIC. Extremely appealing. Okay, and even aside from that, the efficiency factor here is extremely appealing. Okay, so those are some things to consider. So price-wise, the reason we're saying that they probably put at that price point is because of the Bombax unit. So the Bombax unit, oddly enough, is almost exactly twice the mega hash, just about the same wattage, but again, double the price. So this guy's street price is about 4,200, which kind of makes sense as to why Jasminer priced that guy exactly half, down to 2,100. Why? To kind of combat this guy. This guy specs are definitely much better though, because again, the efficiency, it is twice the efficiency. And the new thing we're talking about that they mentioned, there is a low power mode for this thing, and it's like borderline mind-blowingly good. Brings the efficiency down to 0.13 from 0.18, so pretty significant difference, to the point where it's pretty close to even the X44's efficiency of 0.10. Okay, pretty freaking impressive. So the low power mode, 2700 mega hash, 350 watts. It's like a 3090, right? It's crazy, right? Extremely impressive. We look at profitability for that guy, $6.79 in revenue, again using Octa, 84 cents to run it. This is where it gets pretty freaking cool on this low power mode. 84 cents to run it at a 10-cent kilowatt hour. Insane, right? Bringing in almost $6 a day in profit. Very impressive. When we do it in regular mode, $8 a day in revenue, pretty decent. Only $1.37 to run it even in full power mode. Okay, $6.69 a profit. And these are bear market profits. Okay, which is extremely impressive considering the climate, especially considering the climate with other things in that price range. Okay, it's pretty appealing, especially when compared to like GPUs. Easy comparison with like the X16-Q would be a freaking 4090. Buy one 4090 or buy one of these things. Or like a 8-card rig of 3060 Ti's, and just the profitability here is just better, right? And just factor in also that these are bear market profits, right? So pretty appealing there. The Bombax unit is very appealing, but again, it's twice the price, which again to me is the reason why they released this thing at this price, just because it's gonna make you consider it more. Okay. So risk factors though with this Bombax, and why, even though it being so much better, the Jasminer at this price point, in my opinion, is still kind of more appealing, right? Biggest risk factor, it's a new manufacturer, but they are an unknown manufacturer, right? We don't know reliability, durability, not even factoring in repairability and parts and stuff. It's just, we don't know how good it's going to be, and it's something that's very hard to determine because we don't really know until that time passes by. This is why Jasminer, in my opinion, kind of has the advantage here. They've been around, they've proven themselves, they've been fairly durable. I haven't heard of having too many issues with them. These guys, it's super hard doing that, and it kind of sucks doing that almost to these new manufacturers, but it is the reality of it. Even if we crack it open and we look at it, which by the way, check out Bosscoin. He does have a review on the Easy 100. It does look fairly impressive. But that's kind of the thing. Even if it looks impressive, we don't know until that time passes by. 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, and then we really know, okay, turns out it was pretty good. So my biggest thing for us to be able to take that risk, the price needs to be extremely aggressive for us to go in to take that risk. And the fact that it's kind of on par, like, yes, this is the more superior unit though, the Easy 100C, twice the efficiency, but it's twice the price. It's a lot harder pill to swallow freaking $4,000, okay, than it is to jump into one of these more established units, not as efficient, for 2,000 bucks. If this guy would have came in like right above the regular X16-Q price, so if this thing would be a little over 3K, coming in at like 33, maybe in 3,500 bucks, would have been extremely appealing, right? It's hard to factor in. And that's a kind of a shitty way to compare them, just because again, this is the superior unit, but it's the reality of it. That's how my mindset works. I want Because again, ASICs are long-term plays. If the thing doesn't last long-term, then it's not worth it at all, right? So again, it has to be extremely aggressive with their price for me to truly consider. Now, is it fairly priced though? I would say so, but it's not priced to the point where it makes me want to run out and, oh, it's definitely the best buy ever. Again, if it were closer to that 3K range, pretty much right above the Jasminer, I would probably be willing to take that risk. But again, though, they did lower the price actually. They do have it listed here directly from them now at $41.50. This is kind of another risk factor that I was going to bring up, and oddly enough, they did actually lower it. So if you guys remember, we actually did cover this EZ100 when it was first announced from T-Swift. At the time, we didn't have pictures, we had no website, we had no nothing. But we didn't really too hyped about it because of that extreme price. It was over 20K. I want to say it was like 22, 24K, something ridiculous. It's already gone down to like the 15, 16K range in just the matter of weeks, right? It was announced maybe a month and a half ago, something like that. Very different price. To me, they should have come in with their most aggressive price right off the rip. Because now that makes me wonder, okay, are they going to do the same thing here? Which they kind of already have. When we did that video, the price was higher. Are they going to continue to lower it? Hard to say, right? To me, they should have just come in extremely aggressive, the lowest price they're willing to go, and go with that. That way more people would get their hands on them. We could see more reviews. We could see more people jumping in. And at that point, it would be more worth it to take that risk. But again, now they gave Jasminer to do a price reduction here at exactly half of that price point with something that's more established. It's a much harder sell now, right? So to me, that's why my thought process is that this was exactly because of the Bombax unit, okay? So not to say that the Bombax is going to be a bad unit, it's going to be a dud. Hopefully it's awesome. Hopefully people get it. And this thing is just as reliable or more so than even the Jasminer. Because it is a far superior unit. There's no way around it. It's not as good as the X44, but I mean in this low power mode for something that's available now, pretty freaking close. Especially considering the X44 is probably going to be ridiculously priced. And chances are it's not going to come out until... rumor mill has a Q4 this year, the beginning of next year, right? So it's just definitely things to consider, things to take account. But at $2,000, pretty hard to beat, bros, right? So the other kind of, again, overshadowing thing, and is again, just what we mentioned, is we know that there is going to be an X44. We already know the specs of the new model. We just don't know the timeline, right? Which... again, in a few weeks, Mining Disrupt. Both of these guys are actually going to be there, oddly enough. Will Jasminer make an announcement of the X44? Will they give us more info? They don't even have to give it, but just even giving us a release window, like, oh yeah, it's not going to be till Q4, then that can skew things. But what if they come out and say, actually, we're shipping end of July into August? Then that changes things, especially if it's at a pretty good price point. That would definitely change things, right? So it's hard to say where we go from here. If I'm in that boat, me personally, I'm waiting till Mining Disrupt just to see if there's any announcements that come out. Or what if another manufacturer jumps in, or what if, who knows, right? There's a lot of variables, but at that point, that would give me a little bit more clarity, because I would be super pissed if I was like, oh, well, you know what, the Bombax is definitely the more superior unit. And then again, Jasminer comes out like, yeah, we're releasing in July, the X44, at the same price point. Ugh, that would suck, right? So just something to consider, something to factor in. This Jasminer, though, at 2K, though, almost worth it for the risk, right? Because, again, we already know that newer model. But at $2,000, it's much easier pill to swallow for something that is likely to be profitable for quite a while anyways, right? Regardless of what that model is or whatever Bombax does for $2,000, like we know this thing is not going to go down to $2,000. Most likely, who knows? But most likely it won't, right? So to me, very appealing, bros. Very appealing. What I would wait for the X44 is just to see if you're considering getting the Bombax miner over this guy, right? I would probably wait just to see then. If you are looking at these two things and thinking that 2,000, this is going to be it, then this is just an excellent price. It is not bad, Because again, at this point, even if the X44 does get announced, again, it's going to be pretty up there in price, most likely. Okay, it's going to be at least double, triple this price. Okay, so who knows? We don't know. We're just speculating, but that would be my guess. Okay, so pretty impressive unit. Very impressive unit. I mean, it's $2,000. It's that sweet spot. Ideally, $19.99 would be beautiful, but this is close enough. Let me know what you guys think. Is this something you're interested in? I know a lot of you guys have been interested in these Jasminers. This is a pretty decent price reduction. Again, if there is interest here, I wouldn't be surprised if the price ticks up here in the next few months. Again, it just depends on the market, right? If we're like currently, we're kind of slumping again. Do I see it going much lower than this? Probably not. What would be kind of interesting if they do reprice just the regular X16. Will the X16 go down to 2,700, 2,600? Or are they just going to keep them as is? Maybe this is just a limited batch just to kind of mess with Bombax a little bit. A lot of theories here. Let me know what you guys think, though. What you guys are doing. Are you guys seeing this? I'm like, ooh, sounds intriguing. Or does it kind of sound like a dud? Or are you interested in that Bombax unit? I know I definitely am. Looks like I'm probably going to Mining Disrupt. I will definitely be taking a good look at that thing. Definitely interested in that thing also, right? So hopefully, maybe now this Jasminer announcement forces Bombax to lower their price. We'll see. Maybe they do this little war thing. Who knows? Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think they're going to do the same thing? Let me know what you guys think, guys. Please comment, like, and subscribe, guys. Again, thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it, guys. And I am out.